Alright everyone, so, new tank review. Huzzah. Now, today was payday for me, therefore, I get more money, therefore, I can buy tanks. This one is the AMX 1357. Cool, it's got the designation GF because this is the Wargaming League version. So, this sort of white banner here and it says wargaming.net on the side is just, purely because it's the special Wargaming League one. So without waiting for the next patch 9.7, I think it is, yes, 9.7 to come out, when I can actually get this tank just, in the tech tree for gold, I just decided to get it for the special pack. Now, one thing to note is that you can't add camo to this tank, not in this version with the Wargaming League banner. However, they did say that the Wargaming banner still adds the same value as camo. Somehow this counts as camo, the same as the camo for the three different things. So that's just saving you a bit of gold right there. Now we'll go over the stats as per usual. 890 hit points. It's a French autoloader. Let's have a look at the. Let's compare it to the other French tier 7. Light tank, the AMX 1357, that comes with 900 hit points as standard, so the AMX 1357 has got less than the 1375. What about light tanks for Deutschland? Wrong tier. You have Panther, 850. So, and then I think with the upgraded turret it might have like just over 800, not too sure. Now let's also have a look. British, what do they have? They don't have light tanks at tiers. Okay. Deutschland we've looked at. France, yep. So let's look at Russia. Last tank to look at, Russia, light tank tier 7, LTTB, 950 hit points, so that's a lot of hit. So that's actually reasonable hit points. That's very good. What did I say the 1357 was? Or 1375 was, rather. 1375 was 900, yeah, so it has less than the French. Less than the regular French, rather. It does, however, only weigh 14.85 tons, which is very, very, very light. Let's look at, not Panzer II, let's look at some other tank. It's low tier, Grob Tractor, yeah, that's 16 tons. What was this? 14. It weighs less than a tier 3 gob tractor basically, and it's a tier 7 scout. Which means that the 250 engine power, although that's not great, tier 2 tanks have better engine power. Not that though. There you go. The Grob Tractor has got the same amount of, has got the same engine power, but yet it goes less fast and it weighs more. But anyway, so 250 engine power for its 15 tons, let's say, is very good. It therefore has a top speed of 61 kilometers per hour, which is like warp speed factor 10 for your French tank. It has 48 degrees of traverse speed as well. Delicious tea. Apologies. It does have 48 degrees per second traverse speed, which is good. That's very good for a light tank. It's always good for a light tank to be fast and maneuverable, so that's 2 of the boxes ticked. Being French, it has no armour whatsoever. 50 at the front, 20 at the sides, and 15 at the rear. So yeah, anything will be able to penetrate you. Turret is even worse. 40 at the front, 20 at the sides, and then 5mm more at the rear of the turret. But that's a very small target to hit. But yeah, it is small as well. Let's not forget that. The gun is like massive and sticks out like double the length of the tank, but that's French 57mm autoloader. Actually, well, let's move on to the autoloader right now. So, tier 6 French gun 57mm L100. Let me see, does a 1375 also get a gun like that? Or does it just have... No, it just has 75 mils. Alright, let's go to the 12T. 12T also only gets 75mm. Wow, really? Wow, okay. Well, nothing uses a 57mm in the French. Alright, so, anyway, here it is. So, 57mm. It has 8 shells in a clip rather than 7, which means that you'll get that one extra shot off. It only takes a total time of 1 second in between each shell in the canister reloading, and then 16 times to replace the whole clip of 57mm, which 1 second between each shot is bang, bang, bang. You're going to get off plenty of shots, and if you can actually penetrate with those shots, you will do a large amount of damage. What's the... it doesn't say. God damn it. Does it say here? No. It used to say what the... I swear it did. Vehicle details, maybe. Nope. Ah, I'm trying to find out where it says what the DPM is. Oh, no. But it's very fast. Firing rate. And 16 total seconds to reload your 57mm is, yeah. It's an auto-loader, so, you know, it will take forever to reload. However, here is where the gun stops being adequate. Because it only has 143 penetration with standard AP, and you only get 2 choices, AP and APCR. So, with your standard AP, you only get 143mm of penetration, and if you do penetrate, you only do 90 average damage. So, unless you can find somebody who's on low health and you can get around their side, or they're just not very difficult to penetrate, like another AMX 1357 or a Chaffee or something, you're not going to you're not going to penetrate. And if you do, then you only do 90 average damage, so you're not going to whittle somebody's health down at any sort of fast rate. You do have very good accuracy, however. 0.37 dispersion at 100 meters, which, yeah, that's good. It's a very good accuracy. What's this? 0.34, so it's only slightly less than the gun carrier with Mark of Excellence #FredoWin. It does have 2.3 second aiming time. Let's actually compare this to the 75. I don't know why, but it's just the same tier. So there you go. I love how it says AMX 1375 uses a 90mm gun. Okay then. So yes, let's look at these. So 6 shells, 8, 2.37 of 1 shell second, load time, which compared to the 1 is very, very slow. It also takes best of 3/4 of a minute to actually completely reload your 90mm clip compared to the 16 here. You do have better penetration though with the French 1375 of 170 penetration, which does a much larger amount of damage. It's 240. Slightly more inaccurate, also has bad aiming time, 3 seconds. Weighs more, of course, because it's 90mm. But you are primarily a scout, and so the gun is sort of second priorities for scouts, because your whole point of scouts is to go scouting, and find targets for the rest of your team to, find and shoot. The rate of fire is 20.87 rounds per minute. I don't know. And then I've got my reload time down with 100% crew plus improved vents down to 15.66 actual gun per second reload time, with a 45 degree turret traverse speed, which is very good. Check the B1, 44 for the Panzer II, and my Panzer II turns its turret fairly quickly. I want to know what the VAE Type B is. Ooh, 24. I always thought that this turret turns slowly for the VAE Type B, and now I know why. It has no gun depression as well, which is common in Chinese vehicles. Anyway, back to the 1357 GF. Not too sure what the GF stands for. I don't know. Grand Finals, I think, actually, is what that stands for. Yeah, Grand Finals. Anyway, moving on from there. You do have a very good view range, though. 390 without any equipment. And I have got a binocular telescope plus coated optics, so moving around 438 meters view range, 497 meters. with the binocular telescope, and after I finish researching Sixth Sense for my commander, I will be going, because your commander is also the radio operator and also the loader. So I will then be going after, of course, Sixth Sense, because that's obviously something that you badly need on a scout to not be spotted, or to know when you have been spotted. I will be going recon, then situational awareness. I will get this view range up to over 500 meters, which will be fantastic for a scout. I mean, even my Panzer II, which I consider to be OP view range of like 419 meters at tier 2, that does not compare to the 1357. You do have good signal range, 750 with 766 as actual meters view range. Not sure why, but why that's gone up. Probably because I have a 100% radio operator. I had a tier 10 radio. But anyway, let's move on to equipment. Actually, I will just quickly do this. I best put on a small repair kit, a small first aid kit, and manual fire extinguisher, because that's like a given now for everything. I never used to put them on because I never wanted to waste the money, because my computer would like lag at like 4 frames per second for water tanks, and I'd be like, well done. But anyway, equipment fit. You also, actually, before we go on to equipment, you do have 56 rounds of ammo. However, it is sort of difficult to chop and change with autoloaders, because then you'll end up with like a clip of 3 ammo, and because you've like swapped between APCR and AP. But anyway, so you do carry a fairly healthy ammo load. Now finally onto the equipment. I've obviously set this 1357 up as a scout, because when I saw the view range, I'm just like, I'm making this a scout, a proper scout. It's going to have OP view range. So I fitted improvements, because that will help with the reload time, the signal range, the view range, the acceleration, everything. So improvements is obviously very good for for scouts. Light spall liner, there's not really any point to it, because I think, as Jingles once said in his TOG review, 20% less crap is still crap. So don't bother with the small liner. You shouldn't be getting shot at in your scouty tank anyway. Camo net, not a bad idea, because scout Kent Bush, you could maybe put that in place of improved vents, or perhaps coated optics if you really wanted to. Enhanced torsion bar suspension, first class. Well, that might be good, because you don't want to get detract in a scout as you're like powering around the battlefield. So maybe not such a bad idea for a scout tank. Wet ammo rack, not particularly useful, I don't find, but obviously, if you have your ammo rack getting damaged and you use your gun a lot, then go for it. Telescope and coated optics, fantastic idea, because you are a scout. You are a scout 1357. Enhanced gun lane drive, don't particularly need it. 2.3 seconds aiming time is fine, and as a scout, using your gun is second priority. Tanks filled with CO2, if you don't want to get set on fire, then perhaps go with that, but I usually just find that's a waste of like using it. Toolbox, I always like going toolbox. If you can't think of anything to put on, then go for a toolbox, because toolboxes are a good idea for repairing, because you have a toolbox. So, yes, anyway. Crew, you have a crew of 3, which means that skills are going to be traded around between each other. So your commander also triples as your commander, radio operator, and one of your loaders. I'm not sure why you have 2 loaders, because it is only a 57mm gun. That's the same caliber as a 6-pounder, don't forget. So you've basically got like a auto-loading 6-pounder. That's what you can think of it as. So yes, commander, radio operator, loader. Like I did say earlier on, I'm going Sixth Sense, because scouty recon tanks always need to have Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is always good on any tank, but especially on scout tanks. I will then be going recon plus situational awareness, just to get that view range up that extra bit. So I will have over 500 meters view range, probably, when stationary, which will be like OP. Um, I think it would probably be safe to say that if you were to fit this tank with, my fittings, this will be the tank with the best view range in the game, and that's a good thing to be. But yes, so continuing on, mentor, yeah, maybe. I just don't think any of these things will be really useful. Not particularly. Don't bother going for any loaders for your commander because you do have a gunner / loader anyway, so you can always go with that. Relay, uh, not a bad idea. You do have 750 meters view range. Meters signal range. So yeah, not a bad idea for that. Signal boosting as well. If you're going to be powering around as a scout tank scouting on open maps, then yep, sure, go for that. Call for Vengeance, yeah, you can still do some scouting after you've died. That's always a good thing to do. Obviously, your common skills. Gunner, I would normally go Deadeye. However, I'm going with Snapshot because then you can, sort of circle around because that's what fast scouty tanks do, I think. So I'm going with Snapshot. I'll then go for Deadeye. Designated target as well because then you can get off 2 more shots. Don't forget. Also, your team will be able to see them for 2 more seconds. So, useful both for you plus for your team. So, still doing scouting. You may want safe stowage perhaps or intuition because you don't have very good penetration. So if you want to switch between AP and APCR, then yep, intuition. Then you'll cut down 16 seconds of your reload time. Adrenaline rush as well, maybe if you want. Then your driver, I'm going with in off-road driving to decrease decrease ground resistance over moderately soft and soft terrain. So that will help as you're bouncing around scouting. Preventive maintenance, possibly smooth ride, not a bad idea as you circle around RT or whatever. Clutch braking as well, not a bad idea. Don't bother ramming anything, so don't bother going with controlled impact. Only go with that on like KV5s. Yeah, that's probably why the only reason that they have this in the game is for KV5 drivers. So anyway, overall, AMX 1357. I've played 1 game to date. In this tank, I literally loaded up World of Tanks, went into a game in this, and then did this review. So you'll have to wait for a game. Well, you won't because I'll upload these 2 at the same time. But so overall, it's a very good scout tank with a bad gun. However, the bad gun is sort of offset due to the fact that you are a scout, and so you're supposed to be bowling around, getting behind all of the slow, stupid heavies, and then going into their weakest armor anyway. So your penetration isn't that much of an issue. If you're like 1v1ing them, a heavy face to face, then obviously you're never going to penetrate. Not unless you aim for some like uber weak spot. So yeah, so it's a very good scout tank. Just set it up as a scout tank and you will like own everything in your tier. At least everything for scouting in your tier. So yes, it's fun, it's fast, it has no armor and a bad gun. But very good view range and signal range, which is really all you need, plus good speed and traverse speed. So it is like the perfect scout, but without the gun. And so I'll leave it as that. So I'll thank you for watching, and goodbye.